So the Twitch streamer Pokimane made another goofy tweet. She says, capitalism rewards psychopathic behavior. Now this isn't goofy because of the tweet itself, but more about who it's coming from. Because for those of you who don't know, Pokimane has been rewarded by capitalism more than most. Being the literal face of Twitch.tv, signing a multi-year exclusive deal with them, who is owned by Amazon, a company she also has done work with, who is owned by the richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos. Not to mention that Pokimane is a multi-millionaire herself. There's even a video on YouTube that goes in depth on the inner workings of her multi-million-dollar empire.
In just a few short years, she was able to turn what many people would think is simply streaming video games in front of a computer into an online empire with almost a dozen employees and a following of over 20 million throughout Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. And since I'd like to think of myself as a business person, we're going to be diving into the workday of Pokimane and discover all the mechanics of running an online multi-million-dollar business that no one gets to see.
Okay, top to bottom. So
Yes.
there's me.
Okay.
And I have an agent. I need someone to manage my editors. And I have hired a manager in general, which is just someone that I delegate tasks to and that communicates with companies, executes on things that I want their help with, but is mainly just like managing my day-to-day and my liaison for other companies so that I'm not the one responding to every email and stuff. I now also have like a business manager, which is just someone who handles all of my finances, including paying all the people I mentioned out.
Yes.
Yeah, including that, including setting up meetings with like investment firms so that I can decide who to work with, and then also that person technically working for me. In the beginning, I basically took any deal that like aligned with my morals. We're basically just gonna be taking some photos for the merch drop that we're gonna have soon. There have been times where I've had to like let someone go because not meeting deadlines. So I feel like I went from like a streamer to a boss of some sort. I've saved up enough money to like live reasonably for a long time, rent in Los Angeles. Why is it $1 million? And also taxes. California taxes are tough and very much make me want to move to Vegas in a month. And I feel like to be spending like all the money that I make, what am I going to be like leasing out cars every day doing all this? I don't purchase things that I don't need, and anything that I do need will probably ultimately be like under 3K a month or so, I'd say. So in terms of percentage, that is within my disposable income, so I'm all good. People talk a lot about like donations and this and that, especially when you're a female streamer, but like at this point in time, it's under 5%. Sometimes I find startups that I think are really interesting, and I will look into it and see whether it's a good investment. But then I always have to run it by my financial advisor, and I usually put him in touch with the company so he can actually look through their plans or their records, and he basically lets me know whether it's a decent investment to make or not. I really find great interest in business.
So since Pokimane is essentially calling herself a sociopath with this tweet, a lot of people were quick to call out the hypocrisy. Nicholas Diorio responds to her by saying, then turn off Twitch subs, donos, and ads. Making money equals capitalism. She's not simply making money, laughing my ass off. That's disingenuous as fuck. It's always funny when multimillionaire professional live streamers who know nothing about economics get hive mind by poor children who are afraid to work for a living, laughing my ass off. Pimp Master Yoda responds to Poki by saying, I understand you can critique something you've benefited from, but you are practically the corporate favorite to place ads on along with other family-friendly streamers, or used to push merchandise. So you are not just benefiting, you are in bed with it. Dave responds by saying, based comrade Pokey. Lumi says, you're pretty good at this capitalism thing though. To which Saskia responds, doesn't mean she can't criticize it. Remember Cloud responds by saying, you are right, but this is the literal definition of virtue signaling. It's like calling for environmental change while eating a Big Mac every other day. Saskia responds, oh, she's absolutely being a hypocrite. Don't get me wrong. I'm not Team Pokey here. Just confused why so many people think you can't criticize something just because you are part of it. We are all playing a part in capitalism. capitalism. Remember Cloud responds, I wasn't saying that at all. Anyone is welcome to criticize, but making your criticism constructive and meaningful is way different. What she's saying isn't beneficial. It's an empty virtue signal. It offers nothing. The meat industry is terrible while consuming Big Mac. Daniel responds to Pokey by saying, funny you say that. After you have been using capitalism to your advantage ever since you started streaming, and making millions of dollars a year from sponsors and different brands, and your merch, and YouTube videos, and all of the subs and donations you get. But whatever. Hunter Boy says, turn off all your sorts of revenue on Twitch then. Matt Pitt responds to Pokey by saying, this tweet is sponsored by Geraldo's Hot Sub Sandwiches. Get them while they're hot, like every gamer deserves. Glink responds to Pokey by saying, is that why Twitch streamers are so good at it? Disco Alien responds to Pokey by saying, you are quite a successful capitalist though. Christian responds to Pokeyman by saying, talk to him! Capitalism requires the exploitation of workers to function. Exian responds to him by saying, since she has employees, does that mean they are exploited? Tippity responds to Pokey by saying, give me $5,000. Diamond Blue 7 responds to Pokey by saying, this you? Showing a picture of her in a HyperX advertisement. Life is a bruh moment responds, laughing my ass off. People still gonna say, you can criticize and participate. Still though, why you partner up with companies which exploit their employees? It was her choice. Jack Hurley says, I'm just gonna leave this here for all the reply guys. Showing a picture of a worker saying, we should improve society somewhat. And then a smug guy coming out of a well to say, yet you participate in society. Curious. I am very intelligent. Purgatory responds to him by saying, she doesn't just participate, she actively engages in it, takes advantage of it for more than survival, and has the power to help her create change. Yet does nothing but amasses more and more wealth. Actions speak louder than words, and all I see are words. Thick Boy Crazy posts that same image in response to Pokimane, and Christina Tasty responds to it with an edited version, with the worker having a bunch of Gucci saying they should improve society somewhat, and then GigaChad coming out of the well saying, Pokimane, you drink $12 coffee. Diesel Patches quote tweets Pokimane and says, teehee, ooh, off to the gulags with you, showing a picture of communist Pokimane. Sophia the Helion says, yeah, okay, showing Pokimane's net worth. Lotad69 says, yeah, I also hate capitalism, queen, showing a screenshot of Pokimane's video that she uploaded titled $3.5 million mansion house tour. Contra says, didn't you string a guy along who lived with you and then proceed to fuck another guy while he was still in the house? I don't think you get to tell us what sociopathic behavior is. If you want to learn more about that, I have a video about it. It will be in the description and in the cards up above. But moving on, Jest responds to Pokimane by saying, so yeah, anyways, fuck capitalism, eat the rich, and remember to link your Amazon account and subscribe with Amazon Prime, you guys. Nicholas Diorio says, why is it that the only advocates of socialism I've ever seen online are either aspiring / current top 1% earners and poor college kids who are terminally on Discord? He then tweets out Pokimane's capitalism tweet next to a picture of Pokimane in her custom painted car. The Quartering responds to her by saying, multi-millionaire Twitch streamer complains about capitalism. You can't make this shit up. Fapping Flamingo says, alright losers, where the fuck are my rewards, huh? Little fucking weasel's holding out on me. Combat Wombat responds to Pokey by saying, tweeted from the mansion her tier 3 subs bot. Toad McKinley responds to Pokimane by saying, my favorite phase in the life cycle of the digital hooker is when they try to convince themselves they are in the position they are in, not because of their looks, but their brains. And then they stop bloviating about their grade school tier political position. The Communist says, everything rewards sociopathic behavior. That's the point of it. AugRFC says, $5 a month. Atozi says, communism rewards sociopathic leaders. Assault responds by saying, you can be against capitalism and not support communism. Atozi responds, I went from barely being able to afford rent and food in 2017 to financially free in 2019. That's only possible under capitalism. Everyone can become financially free with the correct knowledge under capitalism. So when Pokimane posted her capitalism tweet, I reposted it next to a bunch of screenshots of the brand deal she's done, and that tweet ended up getting a lot of likes. And because of that, a lot of discussion was spawned around this tweet. Pimpmaster Yoda responded to it by saying, the levels of irony to tweet that from an iPhone. She must have been holding a Starbucks coffee in the other hand. Everyone's hooked on the iPhone comment, while your queen is the poster girl for major marketing campaigns. Talk is cheap. She said this to capture a large audience, just like celebs that come out as non-binary, then change nothing about themselves or even pronoun usage. It's a Gundam says, this explains why Geico wouldn't insure my race bike for the track. Based Sonic says, when is she going to redistribute her wealth with me? Brittany Venti says, she must be talking about her own. Ursakistan says, but more importantly, she has all these sponsors and still attacked other people's sponsors. Rex Lapis responds, I honestly don't even get the appeal of this chick. Cursed Reality says, She probably doesn't even feel this way. She just wants to be cool with a lot of the lefty people on here. Rex Lapis responds, she's pandering. If she felt that way, she could give up a huge chunk of her money and still live comfortably. Like, at least Sanders does. And that's about it for the reactions to Pokemon's tweet. Ultimately, not a big deal that she tweeted this, but I think the hypocrisy and irony in it is hilarious nonetheless. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it in the future, be sure to subscribe with notifications on, and thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel. In particular, Scrubby, who has donated $100 a month. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.